Hello and welcome once again to Solo Board Gaming Presents, and today something pretty different, something pretty special. In the Name of Justice, the Battle of Lewes, 1264, and this is from White Dog Games, and it's designed by, I have to turn over for this, which is a shame, it should really be on the front, shouldn't it? Dale Good. So let's just turn back to the front. In the Name of Justice, the Battle of Lewes, 1264, from White Dog Games. This just plopped through my letterbox in the post today. It was a folio game. It's the folio version of this game, which has just been released. I bought it from Second Chance Games, and they sell it both in the folio version, which is this, and the boxed version. I didn't know anything about the game. I just saw the subject matter and instantly thought, whoa, got to get that. So that's what I did, because I loved the time period. I loved the Baron Wars. This is the second Baron War. So I thought, okay, I'm going to take a risk. So when I saw both options, folio or boxed, I thought, well, okay, let's not spend too much. I mean, I only saved £6, mind you. But that's what I did. I thought, you know, I'm not made of money. I will take the folio version. Friends, I've unbagged it. I've had a look at the contents, which I will quickly show you now, and I wish I'd bought the box version. Obviously, the contents are absolutely no different whatsoever, but it looks such a fabulous game, and I already knew that I loved the time period anyway. I should have bought the box version. But okay, I don't want to take too long over this, because this is straight off the cuff. I hadn't planned this unboxing at all, or unbagging. I've had a very quick first glance through the rules. So let's take a look at the back. Nice view there of what to expect as regards the mapping and some of the counters, the knights on horseback, the bowmen, and that kind of thing, and the town of Lewes and the castle. There should be a priory, the priory over on the left. Little bit of the history, King Henry III, an unpopular monarch due to his autocratic style. But don't forget, these wars really go back. I mean, if you think of the first Barons' War and King John, the signing of Magna Carta, and that kind of thing, I suppose really it goes back to then. That the second Barons' War was when Simon de Montfort rebelled, got all the barons together to attack and capture King Henry III of England, who was considered too autocratic at the time. And really, I suppose, Simon de Montfort, who obviously won this battle, is considered the father of parliaments, if you like. He set up the first parliament here in England, and it was the first parliament, I believe, in the whole of Europe. Because once again, now I've got this game, I'm going to have to go back to the period and take a good look and brush up and improve some of my knowledge on it. But this looks really good. Solitaire suitability, and after looking very quickly through the rules, this definitely seems to be the case. Solitaire suitability is 7. 7 out of 9. This is for 1 to 2 players. Plays in 1 to 2 hours. Complexity low, I agree, from quickly having a look, mind you. And very, very suitable for solitaire because of the very, very few counters and the chip pull system. Brilliant. Okay, and on the front there, we have a picture of, if you ever visit Lewes is in East Sussex. It's not far from Brighton on the coast. And this is the monument to the battle. Very impressive, isn't it? That medieval helm there. This is the monument to the battle, close to the site of the battle itself. At what we have. Ooh. Okay, so first of all, there's the counters. But I think I'm going to turn this, get the camera to move a bit closer, and we'll take a good look at some of the counters in this game. Okay, it's a very small counter sheet, as you can see. I think there's about 90 counters in the game, or something like that. But some of the counter art is absolutely beautiful and very evocative of the age. At the top there, we have, I think, yeah, in this gold colour, this is the rebel army, and the silver colour is the royal army of Henry III. So you've got Henry Montfort, de Clare, Seagrave, and the wards of Simon Montfort, and so on. Pevelsden. And each of the army is divided into wards, and all of the combat counters, like here are missile troops, here bowmen and slingers, staff slingers, and it tells you at the top which ward they belong to. Like these two guys here is de Clare, and you can see his coat of arms here. So they belong to the ward or the battle of de Clare, and these here belong to Seagrave or Pevelsden, and again you see their coat of arms. This is what I love about this game, and it's what I love about the period actually, is the heraldry. So you have missile troops here, as I say, for ranged combat such as bowmen and staff slingers, and you have foot troops, melee troops here, de Clare, showing their allegiance to the ward of de Clare, and the coat of arms like so, and also knights on horseback. Here's a mounted knight there, and also we have activation chits. Henry Montfort, Pevelsden, Simon de Montfort. These are activation chits, and there are some more down here. Seagrave, or a free baron activation, and I believe that's to activate any of the wards. Back in this period, each wing or body of troops under the command of a prince or a lord, in these cases barons, was called a ward, and this is where you get a forward, a forward, or a vanward, middle ward. This is the main battle, or a rear ward. These are the rear troops. Sometimes you see it called in various games a battle, for instance. We've also got, I'm just finding my way through this, remember, game counters like charge counters, out of command counters, because I know that's very important in this game, as it was in the period, where you have to be within a certain range of your commander. And if we now look at some of the royalist troops, for instance, here's Henry III, Prince Edward, and Cornwall here. The command ranges are 4, 3, and 3, accordingly. And again, we see the foot troops, the spearmen, for instance, of Henry III, of Cornwall here, with his coat of arms. Mounted troops, mounted knights, and more activation chits here for Henry III, Prince Edward, or Cornwall activation, like so. The end turn counter and the game turn counter, we'll come on to that later, because I believe, so what I've read so far, all of the ward activation counters, and let's just briefly look at them again. We had Henry de Montfort, Pevelston, Simon de Montfort. Then we had Seagrave activation, or the Free Baron activation. And for the Royalists, we got Henry III, Prince Edward, the Cornwall activation. They are put into a cup with the end turn counter. And I believe what happens there is each turn you're pulling out of the cup the ward that's going to be activated. So whichever one of these activation counters comes out of the cup, that's the ward that's activated. So you activate that ward, you carry out its actions, okay? And you keep going, pulling a ward from the cup, carrying out actions with that particular ward of battle. That's movement, ranged combat, melee, and that kind of thing. But if you pull the end turn counter, that's it. No more ward activation is allowed for that turn. This is the uncertainty in the game. And the game turn counter is therefore moved forward. Any ward activation counters are then put back into the cup, and the next game turn starts, the next hour of the battle. You see? So you don't know fully, you can't control how long the battle is going to take, and which wards are going to be activated in whatever order each of those game turns. So that sounds fascinating for me. As soon as I read that kind of thing, I could see its suitability for solo play. And that's when I thought I wished I'd gotten the boxed version. The counters seem to punch very easily. And they are very thick counters. Look at the thickness of that counter. This is Prince Edward's ward or battle. It's got the name and the coat of arms there. And on the other side, it's got its step reduction. And you can see how the, I believe that's combat value, morale factor in green, and then the movement factor in black. Yeah, 446 on that side, and the reduced side 236. So that's an example of these very, very thick counters, which looks like they're going to be punching out pretty easily. Let's just try another one here. There we go. So they're punching out fairly easily. And as I say, nice chunky counters. Okay, very quickly then. The next thing in the box or in your folio comes the rules. The rules are 4 pages. It's glossy card. It's 4 pages of rules, which is why as soon as it came through the door and I pulled this baggie open, I thought, oh, okay, 4 pages, and I'd read them in, 20 minutes? So you've got an introduction, game components, which we've had a quick look at, and yeah, here it is explaining the red number is the combat factor, the green the morale factor, the black number the movement allowance, and so on. And then the fact that there is a step reduction on the reverse side. Setting up the game in a while, stacking, zones of control, morale check, sequence of play. This is what told me about that cup draw, command and recovery, movement, combat. You've got missile fire and melee combat as you would expect. Retreat after combat, and so on. And some optional rules. Some of these optional rules are absolutely excellent. You have the Seagrave Londoners, part of the rebel army were mainly untrained volunteers with poor morale. So there's an optional rule here that when a Seagrave ward unit is eliminated or retreats because of combat with a charging Prince Edward, the Londoners rout off the field at the end of the melee combat phase and remove all Seagrave and Prince Edward ward units from the game. Because that's what happened in real life. Prince Edward basically started the battle. He routed the Seagrave Londoners. No discipline. He went charging off the battlefield, leaving his father, Henry III, to continue the fight. So that's one possibility. Or look at number 4 here. Another optional rule. Historians believe the outcome of the battle would have been different if Prince Edward had not left the field. For what I know of the battle, which is mainly from my school days, I would tend to agree with that. So do not remove his ward when the Londoners rout off the field. So again, that's another optional rule, and there's various other options there. And then very, very interesting designer notes, particularly on the numbers ranging from 10,000 fighting in this Battle of Lewes, 1264, ranging up to 100,000, which is extremely unlikely. But most people tend to agree between 10 and 15,000. And what the designer has done here, he's actually decided by reading all the different varying accounts that the Royalist army represented here in our battle with these counters is 7,600 and the rebel army 5,050. A total battle in quite a small area of 12,650 combatants. King Henry III shouted, "Simon, je vous défie." No idea if I pronounced that right, by the way, but it might be close. "Simon, je vous défie." Simon, I defy you. And the battle began. Chroniclers reported the battle started just after dawn, 5 a.m, and lasted at least until noon, most of the fighting anyway. Prince Edward reappearing in the early afternoon, about 2 p.m, and the battle was over by late afternoon. So it was quite a slog. So that's the 4-page rules. What do we have then? We have examples of combat. This is always nice. Look, this is on thick paper or thin cardstock. Defensive missile fire, an example there. Melee combat. Now on the back we have the ward leader setup, and this is what impressed me. This talks about the ward leader setup. So you take the leader of the ward, for instance, for the rebel barons, you have Seagrave, de Clare, Henry Montfort, and Simon de Montfort, and Pebbleton. These are the reserves: left, centre, right, reserve. And they get placed on the map, and their wards, their units, are placed around them at your discretion. And the royals there, the left, the centre and the right, King Henry, Cornwall and Prince Edward. Now, this is what I was briefly talking about earlier. I was quite impressed with this. There are, and this happens with a lot of Renaissance, pike and shot, medieval battles and ancients really. And that is how the forces actually set up on the field, because we don't know, do we? Many of them we have really good ideas about because of contemporary accounts and confirmed via battlefield archaeology and that kind of thing. But the designer, after all his research, feels that each of these ward leaders should be set up in these hexes here, these numbered hexes here. Carpenter, who did a major study in 2015, believes that they should be set up here in these hexes, completely different. And English Heritage, who look after the site and many historical sites around the country, in 1995 reckons that they were set up here in these hexes. That is superb. So we've got 3 potential different setups according to different experts. Here we've got selected references that we can read up on. On the, here we go. There we go. Another player reference card. These are for the different terrain types: clear, road, gate and bridge, hill, building, stream, wall, marsh and river, and the effects that has on movement or battle. And then over the other side, a player reference card, the sequence of play, missile fire, combat tables. This is melee, the modifiers, melee, combat modifiers table, and so on. So that's going to be useful. From the 4-page rules. And then finally, look at this! We have the map. In the Name of Justice, the Battle of Lewes, 1264. I'll just unfold this and we'll have a quick look. Okay, I've just unfolded this. I hope you can see it all. I obviously need to get these folds out of the map. I'm going to be putting plexi on it, of course. But it's a lovely map. I really like it. And look, it's dominated by Offham Hill. This is a real dominating feature of this extreme gradient here, which formed a major part of the battle. And eventually King Henry had to do a fighting withdrawal back down this hill, back into the confines of Lewes. It has the River Ouse and the Cockshut stream on here. All this is marshland. This is low-lying, fairly waterlogged ground around the locale of these waterways. This is St Pancras Priory, and we can put a picture of that up here as well. This is Lewes and Lewes Castle. St Mary's Westhout, there's a church there. Snelling's Mill, which played a part in the battle. The Winterbourne Stream, and so on. Now I believe the waterways can be crossed at the bridges. There's a bridge here, there's another one here, there's one down here, and so on. I believe what I've read, walls negate the command range of the leaders, and zones of control are not exerted across a wall and that kind of thing. So a lovely, lovely map, and you've got the turn track here, starting at 5 AM, ending at 4 PM. So a lovely, lovely map. I really like that. I think it's nice quality. It looks good. Put some plexi on there, and we're away. And you can imagine that with those really, really nice unit counters, it's going to look really nice to play. And it sounds to me perfectly suitable for solitaire play. I'm going to be doing, I'm pretty sure, a playthrough of this at some point. It won't be for a while yet. It may be a week away because I'm working still on something else, and I had to interrupt it as soon as this pops through the letterbox because I was so excited to receive it. So there we go. In the Name of Justice, the Battle of Lewes, 1264 from White Dog Games. This is the folio version, the boxed version. The components are going to be exactly the same, but I do wish I'd got the boxed version. Great game, great looking game. We'll see how it goes, but I hope it's helped. So now you guys know what's inside the box or inside the folio. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to enjoy playing it, and I'll certainly let you know how that goes. Thanks for watching. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.